Kia ora, my name's Matt and I'm building a Sopwith Camel. Things have been rather slow the last 2-3 weeks and they're going to be for the next 3-4 weeks as well. I've got sidetracked by real life. But I thought I'd send out a quick update just to let you know I'm still here, still plodding away on stuff. Not particularly productive at the moment, but one of the things I am doing is getting the stack of uncut timber down. So I'm down to basically, started with 137 of these, down to the last 3, which I'll knock out over the next couple of weekends. Weather-wise, this is probably one of the first of the summer days that we're going to have. Temperature today got up to around about 23, and the humidity at the moment is, let's get down to my little widget here, 39%. So it's obviously, temperature's obviously dropped. In fact, it dropped as I picked it up. But yeah, coming up to October, which is when we shifted to this location, and immediately after shifting the timber went haywire, went absolutely nuts. All the good aircraft timber stayed straight and true, that was absolutely fine, but all the knots started splitting and anything that's basically builder's grade that wasn't dead straight started twisting. So I've slowly went my way through that and turned those into firewood, and I can see another one that's cropped up just in the last few days. You can see that one there is now warped a little bit, so it's probably, I'll have a look at that when I come back next weekend, and probably turn that into firewood as well. Not much else going on, to be honest. I haven't done a lot in the way of gluing. Yeah, not done a lot in the way of gluing or prepping timber for ribs or anything else like that. I'm slowly getting together templates for the Romanian ribs, the specialised ones, but that's on a bit of a go slow as well at the moment. So yeah, pretty much quick update in that there's not much to update, and I'll be back in about 3 or 4 weeks. So don't stress, don't panic, I'll still be plodding along. I just got to get rid of these other jobs first. This is a bit of a funny story. One of those ones you shouldn't really have to tell other people, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Not that any of you guys need this advice. None of you would be this daft. But I've mentioned before the T88 is quite thick, and it needs to be warm, room temperature warm, in order to flow reasonably well. Well, in the efforts of getting this T88 up to room temperature, I popped the 2 canisters in front of the fire. It's an enclosed fireplace, and obviously gets fairly warm, and I figured a few minutes there would probably help zhuzh it along a little bit. Possibly not my wisest move. What it ended up doing, fortunately I caught it well before it actually went septic, but there's, you can see a dent in there, there's a hole in the top of that cap. The entire cap was fused together, same with this one. The fireplace heat escapes from about there upwards, so it really hit the top half of this. But having said that, if it gotten any worse, I could well have had resin spread all over the hearth. So I caught it just in time, and I was quite horrified, as you can imagine. So that resulted in a late night trip to the local home hardware store to pick up sauce bottles. So now I have 2 sauce bottles containing my T88. Vividly marked as poison. I've got no idea if it is, but I do know it won't be good for you if you drink it. Mostly to stop my elderly mother from using it to garnish her dinner. So yeah, so long story short, don't put these things in front of the fireplace. I have seen online somebody who's actually made a box for heating these things up, made out of scrap plywood and using a standard light bulb to warm up the environment in cold weather, which is pretty much what I've got here. So I'll think on that next couple of days, and I've got plenty of scrap plywood. I'll probably look at knocking one of those up. Be safer than crock pots or fireplaces. Well, it's been a pleasant afternoon cutting my penultimate piece of timber from my original 6 cubic meters of raw stock, and it wasn't a bad result. Didn't get any spar material, but did get these 4 pieces. The 2 longer ones are probably over about 1.2, 1.5 meters. They're not looking too bad, and these 2 and that one beneath it, so not a bad result out of that one. Still having issues with regards to spar timber, so increasingly likely I'm going to have to order some in from the States, which is going to be a bit of a pain in the backside. But I'll show you my stack now. Sun's in the way now. But that's my stack, and you can see only one piece of timber with a black end on it. So that's in the original state. I pulled it out of the millers down in Dunedin, and that's the last one to cut. And it's marked with an orange dot, so I've already looked at it and concluded it's probably firewood. Either the grain won't be tight enough or there'll be too many knots in it. But I'll cut that up next weekend, see what I can get out of it, and then I'm on to building a workbench. One for making wings on, and one which I'll also be able to use to stack this timber underneath. Or what's left after I've made a workbench. So yes, pretty chuffed with that. So not a huge amount to report over the last few weeks, largely because I've been flat out busy doing other stuff. But keeping things ticking along, getting rid of the last that timber, which needed cutting up, is going to be fantastic. That's a step forward. And as soon as I finish other work, I'll be back into gluing ribs and getting them up to spec. And hopefully building a wing making table, which would be useful. Cool. Talk soon.